So we've all done it. I'm thinking, is there anybody left out? Andy's there. I want to do a quick little improv because I feel like it. And I know Angel loves it. So Polina, Angel, and Maria and Riley are going to be on one team. And Ken, you're all together in one team. Alicia, Noelle, Danny, and Andy are on the second team. Okay? So let's bring up the first team. Did I say Sandy? Sandy, which one are you Sandy on? Sandy, you're on the second team. Sorry. All right, everybody turn off your cameras. Just bring up the first team. Oh, look at me. I got to turn off mine. All right, so here's the deal. You guys are experts. And you have to introduce yourself to me and make us believe that you are experts in the field that we're going to give you the improv to. So somebody will have to introduce the other people. You'll say what product you're, what you're the expert in this field. So what can these be? You're at a school talking to students. What can they be experts in?
Microbiology.
Who brought that up?
Maria.
That's pretty cool. Okay, you're experts in microbiology. So someone will take the lead and introduce the others. We can ask them questions. This is called bullshitting. I want you guys to be able to bullshit because there are so many times that they'll ask you to add stuff and say stuff about
really
yourself.
Important.
Huh? Wait a minute.
No, sorry.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you on the second team or the first team, Noelle? 1, 2.
Second team. I just unmute my mic to give you an idea maybe for the theme.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. Yes. All right. So somebody take the lead, introduce the other people. And here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're lucky enough to have a famous team from Stanford University speak to us about the world of microbiology.
Hello, my name is Professor Stevenson, and here's my team that consists of Professor Kenneth, Professor Paulinus, and Professor Angel Haas. And today we're going to speak about bees and pollen. As you know, bees love to fornicate, and therefore they produce pollen. Pollen is so important, especially for the allergics, because if you have some kind of allergies and you tend to see some pollen, you will probably die. And my team is here to help you survive. Let me give my word to Professor Angel Haas.
Thank you very much. That was a great start, how I think, because to support that, how important bees are in this time zone is because bees are also affected by the coronavirus. This virus kills the bee. So what we're trying to do is buy a lot of honey, go to the store, buy a bucket full of honey, because this is the way when we eating the honey, just a sip in a tea or in a coffee, we're gonna produce hormones. It's proven by science, hormones, that the bee's gonna smell it and they're gonna survive. They build antigens against the coronavirus. And
That's right, Professor Haas. Now let's give the word to Professor Paulinus. Paulinus, what can you tell us about pollen and hormones, how they influence people? Tell it to our students, please.
Yeah, hormones. The hormones increase.
Professor Paulinus is pregnant. As you can see, she's holding a pregnancy test. So give her a minute.
Hormones and bees' honey increase the level of hormones in the blood and increase your blood pressure and gives you more and makes you more enthusiastic in your life and gives you vitality and improves your self-esteem, and also it gives you an opportunity to meet your beloved one, for example.
Thank you, Professor Drug Addict. Now we have a word from Professor Intrakassel. Go ahead. He will talk about hormones in female behavior during the pollen season.
Yes, yeah. The more pollen that's out there, the more the female hormones levels tend to increase, and they can get kind of not in a good mood. They could get kind of moody sometimes and get hungry. So that's why you need to have at least a tablespoon of the honey a day to help with the hormone levels, to keep them lower, and then therefore that would help with the coronavirus.
Thank you very much, Professor. Now we're getting a word from Professor Kenneth, who's going to talk about sex between the bees, females and males, and how it affects the microbiology of the honey.
Well, but what if I told you I found a cure permanently for the problem of erectile dysfunction based on my study of bees? Would you be surprised? So this is a little secret about how I'm gonna cure your erection problems. First, so pay attention to that. That's
I'm sorry, Kenneth, we're not talking about your problem right now. We're talking about the bees and microbiology.
Yes, that's why I've connected.
Your impotency is not as important right now, so please keep to the topic.
Yes, they are completely related. Okay, so during the mating season, those bees produce a very specific kind of hormone. Those male bees, they produce a very important kind of hormone, which might be the cure to erectile dysfunction. That's why this is important for us as researchers, or I'm also a medical doctor. See, I'm a doctor, medical doctor. So this is very important for this season. We can get, during the pollen season, we can get those bees and collect their hormone and use that as a cure.
Not to mention that we figured out how to cure the Lyme disease. As you know, a bee sting can cure the Lyme disease. Professor Haas can talk more about it.
Yeah, so I worked on it with Professor Intrakassel because he invented the cure, and I was more an assisting function. And but I really was I admire his work because Mr. Intrakassel, can you tell how the experiment evaluates and what happened in the library?
Yeah. First, I just want to say that you were a great assistant. What you wanted me to clarify? Would you want me to explain again?
The experiment that proves that we found the cure for the Lyme.
Oh yes, yeah. The experiment that proved that. Yeah. So after like thousands of trials and errors, we came to the conclusion that the test with to cure the Lyme disease from the bees. Yeah, if you pull out the black stripes of the bees and you put that color into a test tube and you stir that with some of the honey that we got from the bees as well, plus some other very private top secret ingredients that I can't explain that we put in there. It ended up curing the Lyme disease because we started testing it on armadillos and
Professor Paulinus was our guinea pig. We
Yeah.
tested all our experiments on Professor Paulinus. Paulinus, can you please tell me how does it feel when a bee stings you and it dies because it wants to cure you? A little thing gives its life to take care of you. How does it feel?
It's a little bit itchy and scary, when you see the body of a dead bee on your skin, but it also makes you feel better because it gives you the very helpful, but sometimes it can be kind of poisonous. So it gives you this substances and these substances, they're they're going up in your body with the blood. And
Professor Polinas, what kind of substances are you talking about right now?
So they're kind of sticky.
Are they like America Health approved substances or not?
Yes, of course, they're approved.
Well, thank you very much. I want to thank this team for speaking to us tonight. You've been extremely informative. I'm just wondering myself if Dr. Maria is having an affair with Dr. Fu, and if Polina, Miss Polina has a birth control device that I keep seeing her hold up that's blue, and Dr. Intricasso seems to be the only one who might be having a really good affair with Miss Haas. So I want to thank you all for chatting with us tonight, and we're going to bring up our next team. And thank you all. Good night.
Nice.
And now our next team is coming up. Here we come. All right, you guys, what are they experts on? All right. How about experts on art in America? And I love you all waiting. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have experts from the University of Carolina. These are all experts in the styles of arts that are now happening not only in America, but around the world.
Good evening, everybody. We are here tonight. We're a team from the University of Carolinas. We're here to talk about art around the world. And we have with us Professors Danny, Alicia, Sandy, and Nawal. And we're going to take you on a journey of different types of art found in different places around the world. So take it away, Professor Sandy.
Like, wow, you know, it just kind of comes from within and you don't think much about it, because if you think too much, it's like you ruin the perspective. Everything is based on perspective, you know what I mean? Hang on a second. And I really think that if you just allow your brain to play, you're going to do just what you have to do. Just remember, work with 3 colors. Work with your reds, your blues, and your yellows. And when you combine them, just enjoy what you do.
Well, you know, I saw Professor Sandy's last installation and it was fantastic. But I think that she's just living in the past, you know, and it's time to get with it and do some active kinetic protest art, which you know is my latest installation right in the middle of Central Park. As you walk by, it whacks you in the head every single time if you don't stand up and make a statement about, you know, women's rights and Black Lives Matter. And I have more and more installations going in, and they're all lots of movement, you know, lots of anger. That's what we need in this world. You know, Sandy's a little too mellow for me, but I do like her colors. They're beautiful, you know.
Thank you. Your anger kind of, it doesn't quite go with my vibe.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, I do feel more relaxed when I see your
if you want to be angry in Central Park, yeah, that's cool.
You know,
ladies,
get
I'm
out the
sorry.
word.
I'm sorry.
What What do you
Yeah,
say?
we don't have the same conception of art. You know, being French, you know, I'm not saying I'm better, you know, not saying that, but you know, we have a special history with art, you know. And if I can say, art is really abstract to me, you know. It's something you cannot touch, you know. And it's very personal. It is very personal, you know. Yeah, it's very personal. It's very touching me right now. I'm getting emotional. But yeah, it's very personal. But
You know, if you need any more touching, we can find somebody to touch you.
well, you know, I feel a lot of you know, negativity, you know. You know, I need how do you say that? I need more French inspiration, you know, because when you tell me art in America, I don't really see it, you know. I I don't really see anything, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not trying to be rude here, right? But
Well, no, I think you're nuts because, you know, all you have are a bunch of dead artists in your museums there.
yeah, we
You
do.
need some
We do.
fresh, loud, banging, noisy art in all the streets, spreading the word.
More specifically, it's we're referring to art in South Carolina. Am I correct? Is it North Carolina? What both in both Carolinas?
They kind of blend together, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
They do, and I've noticed in North Carolina there are a lot more yellows used in the paintings than blues, and in South Carolina they tend to lead more into a red area of afflicting the red colors upon the artistic endeavors that they might try to paint, basically, in a most basic form. The painting of the red and the blues and the yellows bring on somewhat of a mood of, I would say, kind of a blue mood when I see it. But personally, and most people in South Carolina, I believe, would agree with me that the yellows bring on somewhat of a blue mood when we witness such a phenomenon of yellow.
Whoa.
Blues.
Yeah.
If I may say, Professor Toni, you really just touched me right now. Just keep talking. I'm really getting emotional right now. Keep talking.
Oh, well, I'm now touched. I'm flattered by your kindness, Miss Newell. Yes, and the paintbrushes we use are much of the wider kind. I might just add as a side note. As far as,
Yeah,
yes.
and I would add that art isn't just about museums, it's also about going right to the people. And I would go into different types of art that I've been involved in, but my lawyer has told me try not to talk about it at risk of incriminating myself, because it may or may not involve spray paint, and it may or may not involve painting public property, private property in different areas of the Carolinas. You know, I'm not necessarily, I may be saying this, but I may not be saying this, but some of the reds and the yellows and the blues in the Carolinas may or may not be mine necessarily. But it's all about getting the art out there, and it's all about making people feel something. That's all I'll say on the subject.
I believe I've seen your work off the interstate.
Yeah, a big
Interstate 20.
big spray painted splash. It had his, you know, he didn't sign it, but it had his signature style all over it.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, I think we all know what you're talking about there, Andy. We know your style, and you're trying to hide it, but you know, we know. And I welcome you to join one of my protest projects, and you know, maybe you can inject a little color in mine. You know, maybe we
That'd be
can
nice.
collaborate
Mm.
and you know, put something down there right in front of the University of the Carolinas and wake up the students to what's really, really going on, because they're just, everybody's sleeping, and I really like Dan over here, but he's sort of old school, you know, drowsy Dan. So, you know.
Well, thank you all. You were very informative. Ms. Schiller, I think, needs coffee. I did appreciate her sniffing glue in front of all my students. That was something that was very special, you know. And Andy, we have followed your street painting, and Miss Noel. I'm very much into all your many pictures of Andy Warhol throwing up. And Danny, I've always been a fan of folklore art, and your pictures of hay and donkeys is truly inspirational.
Oh, well,
And
thank you.
Miss Katz,
Yeah.
your formal, uptight, precise paintings really thrill me. They make Norman Rockwell look like a rock star.
Now I just set those on fire, you know.
Ah, okay. Well, thank you all. We all appreciate your input. And everybody come back online. That was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed all of that. You guys really were inspirational tonight. I mean, really, you just took the bull by the horn and went for it. I thank you for it. And you know, I know Noelle, it's 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and it was 6 o'clock, and
It's
Paulina,
7.
7. Is it 7 for you, Paulina?
Wow.
Paulina? Paulina.
I think it's 8 for her.
Elena, it's your name. It's 8 in Moscow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moscow. I mean, this is just, you guys were very funny, and I so appreciate it. I really, really loved tonight. And that was your first cue card. Next week, I'll introduce another cue card. But be thinking in the back of your brains, if you want, let me know next week if you want to continue to go into the cue cards part of this class, okay? Because there's a second phase to it, and it's pretty much all cue cards with a little improv like we're doing tonight. So
But that's what you work off.
what?
It just continues the next Friday after the 6 weeks. After next week.
Yeah, if you want, I'm going to continue a second part, which is just all cue cards. I had to do sides like this for the first 6 weeks. And then if you want to do the second 6 weeks, it's going to be all cue cards like this or ensemble stuff, you know. And I hope you do, because I think you'll need it. And it's really wonderful. And I know Danny's taking my Monday night class of acting. Most of you have taken my acting class, so I don't think you need to. Although I would really love to get Sandy and Riley into it, because I just think it's going to fluff your auras big time. But thank you. I really was laughing at all your stuff. But Sandy, I think my favorite moment was you sniffing your paint. That was pretty friggin' funny.